Well, some disturbing numbers out on the number of Hoosier high school seniors choosing to move on to college or post-high school education, and it could have a ripple effect in the Indiana economy. For some perspective on that and other news making headlines this week, pleased to be joined by our Insiders panel, Nextech President Korin Jung, also Katz Korin Cunningham, attorney Norris Cunningham, and Marian University Senior Vice President of Strategic Growth and Innovation, Kenith Britt. And welcome one and all to the Insiders this week. Big news, actually a little over a week ago, with this report, an annual report from the Indiana Commission for Higher Education, Norris, that really some stunning numbers. Barely half, 53% of high school seniors going on to college or post-high school education, down from 65%, I think, 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. A lot of people were shocked by those numbers.
Well, there's a lot of work to do, right? There's quite a bit of work to do to arrest and turn around these numbers. You really have to be concerned when you see these sort of numbers, particularly the fact that it's a 12% drop over the last 5 years, which means that we can't blame it on the pandemic.
Right.
Right? I mean, it really is something that's been going on for a while, and it's going to take some public-private partnerships. It's going to take some more funding. It's going to take a lot of innovation in order to get us to a place where we're back to 60, 70% at least on the way to college.
Yeah, Korin, you're in the education space. Just your reaction overall to this, because I think a lot of people were again stunned at how dramatic the drop has been.
It has been astounding, honestly, and to look at it from the perspective of, we need to ask, first of all, who's not going to college, but then why are they not going to college? And there's going to be some certainly valid reasons, but there's a number of them that can be overcome. If it's funding, if it's just a general belief they can't do it. So we have to really dig into the why so we can start to address those issues and better equip and really accelerate individuals' path to college.
Yeah, one of those issues identified is cost, and Chris Lowry, the new commissioner for higher education, said part of it is just kind of getting the word out and dispelling some what he termed myths about the cost and the value of that.
And one of exactly, there's this perceived return on a value that I don't need a 4-year degree, I could do something more accelerated. And the other part is there are countless programs, one of those being the 21st Century Scholars Program, where really less than 20% of eligible graduates participated. If we could just drive better participation in things like that, a program that will pay for your college, I think we'll see those numbers rise.
The other issue that Chris Lowry talked about, and I was just with Chris last night, along with the former U.S. Secretary of Education, and we were talking about these pressing issues. We have to make high school more relevant. We have to get internships. We have to do what the Fairbanks Foundation has been leading on with apprenticeship models and making sure that students finish high school and prepared not only for college and post-secondary options, but for the workforce as well.
Yeah, Gary, I would mention, and Kenneth is exactly right. My firm has been in a partnership with Arsenal Tech High School for the last year and a half, teaching their law education class. Some of our attorneys also working to coach their mock trial team. We did very well last year, and we're very pleased with that. But it's those kinds of partnerships, I think, that's really going to give kids the sense that this is something that I can do, and they can see people who look like them, who are attorneys, who are professionals, and I think it'll build that desire. And we've got an intern from Arsenal Tech High School starting at our firm on Monday, and we're very pleased about it. That's an individual who's going to be surrounded by folks who are college graduates who can tell her about college, who can talk to her about what opportunities are out there, and we need more of that in order to arrest some of these numbers.
Yeah, a big story, no doubt, we'll be following for a while. Another big story surprised more than a few people this week when Purdue President Mitch Daniels announced his intent to step down, to retire as president of the university, be succeeded by engineering dean Mung Chiang. Norris, I'll start with you. What's next for Mitch Daniels?
That's a big question, right? What do you do when you've been a successful governor and an incredibly successful university president? I mean, what he's been able to do at Purdue. I mean, you think about the fact that they've had a tuition freeze for the entire time that he has been there, for 9 years. That's remarkable in the context of where you see higher education expenses going. So I don't know, but if there's a big problem in Indiana, we need to be asking Mitch to help fix it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things, not sure what his plans are, I think that's
Yeah.
the million-dollar question, but even going back to the last topic though, Mitch has also been a visionary in thinking about reaching down into the high school, thinking of Purdue Polytechnic, and it's really starting that pathway while students are still in high school. So we need more of those things, and that's where I think he's had a huge impact even in that regard.
Yeah, Kenneth, your reaction, because Mitch, has had a big impact on at Purdue, but higher education, I think, overall.
Absolutely. I mean, incredible leader, visionary, everything that we just talked about. But I think this was a brilliant move by the board. Going internally, there's significant leadership and talent at Purdue. You don't have to go and do a long, drawn-out search. It disrupts the momentum. Jung is an exceptional, innovative leader at Purdue. A friend of mine is a dean, fellow dean, a colleague actually on the search committee when they hired him as the engineering dean. He told me yesterday, unbelievable leader. He's going to continue to take Purdue to places that no one else could.
Yeah. Also, a couple of big deals we want to get to this week. Prologis acquiring Duke Realty, $26 billion deal. But the one I think that's resonating with a lot of people, MS Communications, selling its radio station, its Indianapolis radio stations, really getting out of the radio business to Urban One. Norris, your take on that on a number of fronts?
Well, obviously you have a local company like MS stepping away from all of those the stations that they have here locally. That feels like a big loss, but I will tell you it's tempered by the fact that Urban One is an incredible African American owned company. Kathy Hughes is an icon, and so here's an opportunity for them to really expand their footprint here in Indianapolis. They have a number of stations in Indianapolis, and now adding these additional MS stations, I think, is going to be very, very good for the city. And quite frankly, again, there's such a great organization. I think that we're going to see that that it's going to be beneficial for all.
Yeah, it is the end of an era, if you will, when you look at Jeff Smulyan and Emmis and the Indianapolis radio stations. As Norris said, an opportunity for growth and those types of things in Indianapolis, but Jeff Smulyan leaves a legacy.
Significant leadership legacy that he's left on this city. It's about culture, right? It's great to see the radio station and the impact that he's had, specifically the radio station, now Urban One, and the culture that they have. And I've had a chance to work with them as well. Great people, exceptional culture, and it's great to see that transition will happen. Yeah,
Indiana on a global stage as we wrap up. The Indiana tech ecosystem got a big shout out, if you will, in London at the London Tech Week Global Summit, exploring really all things technology. Indiana in Indianapolis, top 40 tech ecosystem globally. So, Karen, that's some, pretty high praise.
Very much so. You think of all the growth in companies over the last 10 years within the tech ecosystem, whether it's through major acquisitions, the Salesforce acquisition of ExactTarget, or just the new companies that have also sprung out of all that capital. Yeah. It's great to see it being recognized on a global stage.
Yeah, do you think Indiana, more broadly, and Indianapolis in particular, beginning to fight through that clutter and be recognized outside of the Midwest as a tech
Absolutely.
ecosystem?
If you look, I think just even the venture capital dollars that have flown into the community, into the companies here, is one of the best attestments, if you will, to being recognized. So yeah, I think we're no longer that little corn belt state, if you will, in terms of technology.
Very good. Karen Jung, also Kenith Britt, Norris Cunningham. Thank you one and all for joining us on The Insiders. We'll be right back after this.